Now,
Yes.
normally this be about the time that we're ending the show, but we still got a lot to get to. Why don't we shift gears and talk about what's on Drew's mind for this installment of the episode?
Let's do it, baby. What's on Drew's mind today? I got 10 things from our childhood, BJ.
Okay.
I follow a creative little account over on X, formerly known as Twitter, called Nostalgia from Our Childhood. And
Yeah.
they've had some tweets out, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, yeah, I remember blah blah blah. And it just got me so intrigued. So I went through their profile, and I was just like, man, this is so interesting. What why don't I just make this what's on Drew's mind today? And I picked some of the recent ones. Some I had to scroll back for just because I wanted to pick ones that resonated with me the most. And I had some stories kind of that harken back with some of these. So let's run through some of these in here. We'll pop in and out of these images here because I want to be able to scroll through and find some of the other ones because they're kind of split up a bit. So don't want to get you too lost in that. So let me pull that up for you here. I'm getting the wrong. There it is. So here we go. First one is Yogo's candy. BJ, do you remember this little bag of candy balls? It's like sweet, sugary candy.
No, I don't actually, believe it or not. I'm trying to. It doesn't ring a bell. Maybe, I don't know. I don't.
Small bag. There were 6 packs at the store. It was almost like the size of one. You remember this isn't actually on my list, but it's a throwback one too. The Ritz Bites for the Cheez-Its. They were in like a bag that size.
Okay. I don't remember them, but I mean, I'm not saying that they didn't exist or anything like that, but right. Yeah, I don't remember them.
Well, they were a thing, BJ, and they were actually some delicious candy, as a matter of fact, just so you know. So they didn't have the dates marked for the year for these right here, but I think they were back when we were in elementary and middle school. I don't remember them in high school. I don't think they made it. They were one of those that had an era of a few years. But I remembered them. And you probably remember this. You saw this in many a classroom coming up, BJ, and everybody did, especially if your teacher had a classroom that didn't have the one on the wall because it was so old and busted. Yeah, pencil sharpeners right here. Those ones on the walls were always so rickety rackety. Sometimes they would destroy your pencil, and we had to get an upgrade eventually. And these sharpeners right here were the real deal.
I remember.
Look at the one in the chat as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, I remember those too.
That one too. That was definitely a thing. I had some handheld ones that I had like in my backpack and things like that. So there were a bunch of different versions of pencil sharpeners, but everybody remembers.
I remember both of those versions. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you definitely remember those bad boys. And BJ, did you ever have a Game Boy growing up?
I didn't have a Game Boy, but I remember the Game Boy.
Oh, you don't have a Game Boy. Well, I had a Game Boy, BJ, and I had this little doohickey alongside with it, so I could play that bad boy in the dark. That flashlight plug-in on the side for your Game Boy Color. It's just like what people have to read books nowadays, the little book lights. I used to have one when I actually read books when they made me. But this little light right here was so handy because you couldn't turn the brightness up on your good old Game Boy Color. You needed these lights plug in to play these bad boys in the dark at night.
It makes sense. I didn't have a Game Boy, but I definitely remember that era for sure.
Right. And we're 3 of them in so far. So let's take a look at number 4. This one had a video with it. I wanted to watch it earlier, but I didn't have time. I think my power went out at this time. So I got to make sure that we check out this video here. I think I accidentally passed it. Oh, I did. Okay. Oh, that was making some noise. All right. So let's check out this video. This is waffle sticks, BJ. I don't know if you recall this item, but let's take a look at this former commercial of waffle.
There's a new breakfast that's creating quite a lot of noise.
Pillsbury
sticks. Waffle sticks come with their own dipping cup of rich, sweet syrup, so you can't resist scooping, dunking, and dipping every crispy, syrupy bite. Pillsbury waffle sticks. Dare to dip.
I'd forgotten about that. I do remember that, though.
I did not remember that commercial.
No, I remember that commercial. I remember the product from that commercial now. Wow. Oh, man. I'd forgotten about the guy in the hospital bed screaming.
That's hilarious.
Oh, man.
Waffle sticks, man. I forgot about them until I saw them. I remember the cinnamon sticks, the cinnamon stick Eggos one that you pop in the top. I think they still sell them today. Those are delicious.
Yeah, the waffle stick. I'm gonna have to see if I can get that video as my ringtone now.
Oh my goodness! Taking a stroll down memory lane, still BJ. Here's number 5 on this list. Okay, so this is probably when we were definitely in elementary school. Did you remember like the soda machines that used to be like, I don't know, 50 cents a soda, 75, the cheap days back in the day?
Yeah.
Do you remember this when you would go to the machine and buy a bottle of soda and open up and find,
oh, yes,
please play again, get you a free Mountain Dew or Pepsi 20 ounce for free?
I do rember that. Yeah,
this is the only reason I was buying bottles of soda, because I wanted to win a free drink.
Yeah.
Cash these in at a football game. This would work at the concession stands at high school football games.
Yes.
You present them 100%. These bad boys. They would probably just pocket them and go use them at a convenience store or something. Be like, hey, I won this. Can I give me a free 20 ounce? Okay. But I used to be able to use them at concession stands. And I definitely did. So I was.
Oh yeah, I remember those days.
With those bad boys.
I remember I think Dr. Pepper did them too, because I remember the bottles of Dr. Pepper would also have a you're a winner or whatever.
Yes, absolutely. And BJ, you remember our days in school, and they were still wheeling this bad boy out when I got to high school as well. I'm sure you know where I might be going with this bad boy now.
Too.
These old TVs right here.
I think we got rid of them by high school, but that was definitely middle school, elementary school. I remember the TV and the VCR for sure.
They didn't get rid of them in high school for me, BJ. My senior year, we were rolling this bad boy out in government class. Our coach, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna leave his name out. Our coach, that was the government teacher, wheeled this bad boy out. And do you know what we used to watch on this? And this, I would have never probably seen this ever on my own accord had he not showed this in class. What do you think we watched?
Schoolhouse Rock.
I think we probably did, but no, that's not what I'm thinking of.
That's the thing that came to my mind immediately, like especially because you said government class. Bill Nye.
No,
not government, but
we watched Shark Tank.
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. More often than not, we were watching Shark Tank.
Oh, how does that have anything to do with government, Drew?
DJ, I couldn't tell.
Is it because he was a coach? That's
probably. I don't know. Yes, he just created some reason how this works in our government class, and it really. I don't know. Or he just didn't have anything. He didn't have anything to talk about, so he wheeled out Shark Tank. We watched Shark Tank, and everybody went to sleep in the dark, or got on our phones for the half hour or hour class that we had, whatever.
I could understand economics more so with Shark Tank, but government.
Yes, he did a whole lot of things that didn't make sense, BJ. Let's just say that.
Man. That's why we don't know how the government works, because of Shark Tank.
Yeah. Now let's take a look at something else. And I actually had to scroll for this one. This is one I pushed back in the lineup here because it was so relatable to me, and I got in some crazy trouble from this. And it was something super harmless, an accident, in fact, BJ, but it still happened nonetheless. And boy, it hurt. I used to play with, I wouldn't say play with, but used to try my hand at watercolors. BJ, they used to have the little bitty like a 7 or 8 color set of watercolors for you to mess around with as a kid, and you got like 1 or 2 little skinny paint brushes in there. You had red, blue, green, purple, and all of that. And I'm still can't find the doggone watercolor picture that I had on here. Dang it! I must have went real far. But yeah, it was a little like 7 or 8 set. There it is! Finally, Jesus Christ! It was not going to help out what I was trying to illustrate today at all. Here it is right here.
Oh, yes.
In there, little bitty watercolor set. You can see the spot for your one little paintbrush. I used to use this, get bored, find something to do. If I was grounded, I ain't got nothing to do. Let me just paint something. I was not an artist, by the way. I sucked at it.
Yeah.
But I was painting in the bathroom one day. I wasn't painting on my bathroom things or anything because I have a large dad. He would definitely whoop my butt. But I was painting in there my little watercolors and whatnot, painting on something. I must have had a book or whatever. But I dropped the little paintbrush down this vent that was on the floor.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, oops, I dropped the paintbrush. And guess who got their butt busted for dropping that paintbrush down the vent by accident? Me.
You.
Got toe up. And I was like, man, it wasn't on purpose. This got beat. And I'm like, man. And then later got an apology like, what? It don't help. I'm hurting. My booty stings still. But yeah, some watercolors, BJ. And here's another one. And gosh, this is a super blast from the past. This makes me smile because I saw this everywhere. And this might make you smile too and toss you back to when you used to walk into the grocery stores and shop with good old mom and dad. These coupon dispensers in your local Brookshires.
I remember those.
Man,
yes.
there were like 4 or 5 on every aisle, and it was like back and forth on each side of it. Just so many coupon things everywhere. They don't have any types of deals for your boys these days. They're like, we're going to triple these prices, and maybe you get the discount that's here for 24 hours.
No, I was going to say, you have to know where to look, but they don't have them readily available for you.
They definitely ain't got these dispensers like this anymore.
No.
They don't love us like that.
No.
They don't love us anymore.
Because it's not a family type thing anymore. It's a business anymore.
Right? And last 2 things here, BJ. I don't know if you played this game, but I played it so much in the original and the 2, but so much of the 3. And buddy, to me, it is my favorite game of all time. Are you ready, BJ?
All right, I'm ready, Drew.
To throw it back to your middle school days of Halo 3. I just wanted to sing that part for you.
It doesn't even feel right to talk after that, man.
Can we just end it right here? Can this be our close, like our outro or something? Just add the Halo 3 theme song.
I'll add that in post. We'll add that in as the going away in post.
Oh, such great times! I played this game so much. This is the franchise that really dug me into video games. Like I played a little bit casually with my cousins and stuff growing up, but this is where I really dug in to video games and fell in love. Halo 3, the best game ever. People actually still play that bad boy online. They've made new games, Halo Infinite, Halo, and all that other stuff, but nothing will ever compare to 3, the best one ever. And man, it gives me chills to hear the theme from
the theme.
I used to play this game with my cousins and online and with my brothers so much. There's a lot tied to Halo 3. I'm tied to Halo 3. And that's number 9. And one more, Mr. BJ, on this blast from the past, if you will. I almost went with these throwback Doritos on here, but I thought I'd go with something a little bit more creative, something that had a little bit of a longer run back in its day, BJ. And then the number 10 spot for our top 10 things from our childhood, BJ, this ketchup right here. The Heinz Easy Squirt.
I was about to say, when you said this ketchup, I was like, there's no way it's anything other than the funky purple. Man.
The funky purple. Not just the funky purple, BJ, but also the tomato ketchup and the green slime.
Yeah.
Slime. Something. Whatever the green
something. Man. Yeah.
Oh, blasted green. There we go.
Blasted green, yeah.
And they're your Heinz bottles right there.
Yeah.
Those had an era of 2000 to 2006.
Now that's one that they should absolutely bring back. Yeah, look at that. I mean,
right? That's so much fun for kids, right? Like,
and it's not harmful or anything like that. I mean, you might think it looks weird or whatever, but that's part of the fun. It's like it tastes like regular ketchup, but it's different color. So,
and take a look at this over here. If I can get it up, that's what she said.
True.
Look at that. Right. And those are the top 10 things from our childhood and what is on Drew's mind.
Awesome stuff, man. That's a blast from the past. I appreciated that. Oh, I appreciate that walk down memory lane.